one of the producers put up a graphic.
Sick graphic, by the way.
Canelo, Roy Jones, Andre Ward, James Toney, Bernard Hopkins,
Joe
Calzaghe. Who comes out on top in the Super 6 tournament?
Who makes it to the final?
Billy Joe.
That was one of the hardest ones. I find it easier to pick the outright winner than I did to pick the 2 finalists. The man say Billy Joe again.
Joshua Buatsi knocks out Dos Santos in the 4th round. Now, Buatsi's with a new trainer, Virgil Hunter. I thought it was a good move from him to move to someone like that, especially with his style. He's a comfort guy. He needs to have his defense better. Obviously, let's talk about the fight first. Buatsi, obviously, he comes out sharp, stalking, comes behind that double, triple jab, always hunting his opponent down. But sometimes his footwork is quite lacking, so it's easy to just pivot off and get angles against him. Even though the guy wasn't good enough to do it, he was getting caught on the way out and whatnot. It's like watching Lerrone Richards on the undercard. If he wants to fight someone with that kind of style, it will pose him a lot of problems, isn't it?
You think so?
Yeah.
I understand, but also I think it's hard because it's like we haven't seen him against someone that does box like that to see what kind of adaptations he makes or see what he has to do to give him something different in it. I think obviously we've given the people he's boxed against, he does what he has to do in it. Like he's got away with it up until this point.
Yeah, you're right. But we saw his opponent trip him up in I think it was the 2nd or the 3rd round. They got tied up and his opponent literally just lifted up his legs and dropped him. And then Buatsi got up and he sort of walked over to him like, yo, bro, what are you doing? And like, that can't run, innit? Like, that can't run. You
see switched on, man.
Yeah, a little bit, innit? But you know, he still composed himself.
Yeah.
But then obviously,
I like to see that personally. I love to see that in a boxer. That's that spitefulness, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're in there to do the business, innit? And like, you can see you're in a hurt game. And he didn't like what my man done, so he let him know, boy, you're going to regret that, innit?
Yeah.
And he did.
I wanted to see if his head was gone. It wasn't gone completely, but you could see it sort of took him off.
He come out aggressive. Yeah, he come out aggressive after that, and then obviously he got that was in the 3rd round, didn't it? Towards the end of the 3rd, so it was obviously middle of the 4th. He come out and stopped him. Yeah. So that bit of aggression. But what are you saying that maybe that could be a downfall? Is that what you're saying?
He's not gonna get chipped up in every fight.
Yeah, no. But the sense of, are you saying like that maybe that was him losing focus or composure in any way? Would you say he still maintained full focus and composure?
Not full focus, but he maintained enough in it where he knew. He got a bit, he was sort of overreaching and punching that a little bit harder, but he still kept the same game plan at least.
I'm a big fan of Buatsi. I think, obviously, you got an exciting division with the other light heavyweights domestically at the moment. Obviously, they all kind of got their own pathway. They're all kind of going down their own routes, which me personally, I think, you know how I feel like they should all be frowning with each other. And before they even get to the next stage, world level stage, you come out and you know you're already number one domestically. But there's good fights for all of them. I think talent-wise, he's above the rest. Obviously, it don't mean nothing because you're only as good as your opponents and the people you've beat. So it don't matter about all that ability. You've still got a guy in there and beat the right people. And for me, what was a bit annoying is I feel that opponent was worse than his last opponent. He weren't as good as his last opponent. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, obviously, again, going to Virgil Hunter, that was a serious statement. I think that was a serious statement of intent, and that's a big move, bold move. You're coming out of your comfort zone. You're going across to America. Obviously, we know the whole Matchroom and all that hype stuff is over here. You could do that. You could be fed bums and look great and just stay in your comfort zone. He hasn't done that. He's gone over there in the deep end. You know, they're getting top sparring and all that. But that weren't a fight to really show any improvement or show what he's been working on, innit? I must say that there's certain pad work I've seen Virgil Hunter do with him, and I think it looks class. It shows the levels of Virgil Hunter because it's not pretty pad work. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't go to a open press conference and see open workout and see him doing that pad and think, oh, that's sick, that's slick, but it's effective. You had him breaking stuff down, the touch in the distance. I noticed him working a lot on distance, little touches, stepping in, little touches, stepping out. So, but yeah, you got to see him in there with a live opponent to see the improvements.
They've told Eddie Hearn that they want to fight 3 times this year.
Yeah.
I think last year only fought once.
For me, that's a good. He needs to be straight back out again. 4 rounds, you know what I mean? It's a 4-round touch out, really. It was a little shake out. It wasn't a competitive fight. Or, you know what I mean? So I can't see why you wouldn't get him back out there again.
Yeah, but for a fact that a top prospect like Buatsi, He's begging his promoter to fight 3 times in 1 year. That is shocking. He should be fighting for maybe 4 or 5 times. So like you said, you just bang someone out in 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Cool. Training camp is a bit tough and whatnot.
Yeah.
But you can go again in.
He's a young man. He's
3 months,
fresh. So
1
training
month.
camp shouldn't be that draining on your body and all that. So yeah, get him out again. What we saying against? Who's the light heavy? So out of what light heavyweights we got domestically?
Callum Johnson. Yard. Lyndon Arthur. Craig Richards. And Craig Richards and Callum Johnson, they're Matchroom.
So it's that scene. So make the fight. So what you saying?
Callum Johnson just moved to BT.
For real?
So Frank Warren, he was on the Frank Warren bill last time. He's on the undercard on the same bill as Lyndon Arthur was commentating on the so they was talking about that fight. So then Craig Richards and
Buatsi, at the end of the year, there's no reason they shouldn't have made that fight.
Yeah.
You let Richards get 1 or 2 wins. He's got the British title. He's got a mandatory defense.
You think that fight makes sense all round?
In terms of boxing or in terms of Eddie Hearn and what he wants?
In terms of forget Eddie Hearn. forget what Eddie Hearn wants. Forget what we believe.
To be honest, even what Eddie Hearn wants, he doesn't seem like he's really pumping Richards like that.
Yeah.
Because since the loss, he hasn't really said anything or anything.
Nothing's come out about a plan or comeback plan. You know, he's top fighters. As soon as they come off a loss, he's mapping out their route back to the top in it, and they're talking about this and that. Craig Richards.
From his perspective, he just says he's about to fight the British champion in Craig Richards. Maybe you know what I mean, and
yeah. And also the test that who did Richards just come out the ring with? Bivol. So he showed the level that Richards is at. Richards showed obviously where he is compared to the top world champions in that division. Yeah. So to come out and fight Buatsi is a good test for both of them, and it gives the fans a better understanding on where they are, and both fighters would probably come off better from it, be better fighters from that experience, isn't it?
Because Buatsi ain't fought anyone close to the level of Bivol. And so Richards has experience over him now, and he knows I can hang with the best of the best.
Good 12-round experience against top fighters.
Where he won a lot of rounds as well.
What would you say about that fight?
Do you think it's too early to put him in with winner of Jack Pascal rematch?
Maybe.
Who? Buatsi?
Yeah. I'd like to see them fight some low level.
With who? Pascal who?
Jean Pascal versus Badu
Jack rematch. I ain't really seen them too tough. I couldn't really break it.
Yeah, because Pascal was fighting Hopkins when is in prime, innit?
But I know them man are names. They're big names on the they're big names. They've been up there, but they've been doing it. But technically, are they? Would you say they're real? So are they world? Is that the world title one?
I'll say more like that Chisora kind of gatekeeper level right now.
Is there a world title one that
Who
fight?
is the gatekeeper at 175 though? Like, is there really?
Sullivan Barrera.
That's a good fight.
Yeah. Him.
Is there a world title one that rematch?
I think like WBA regular or something like that.
Okay, so they managed to get a world title on the line, but it's not really. So they're names, innit? So in terms of throwing him in against them,
I think Sullivan Barrera is the best one though.
Yeah. So what about Craig Richards? Buatsi, what are you saying about that fight?
I'm saying about that fight. I'm saying it's a good fight.
It's close to home. It's a fight that's close to home. So yeah, we'll leave that one there then. Fuck it, good fight though. But then
wait, you stuck it on me, now stuck it on you.
Divert. Next question. But either way, boxing, this is the game we're in, man. Throw them man in, you know me. Throw them man in. Let's see it. And obviously, I'll be supporting the sport of boxing if them two fight.
Yeah, that's one where boxing wins, isn't it? Boxing wins, we all wins.
Two good fighters, two hungry fighters that are willing to lay it all on the line. So, and then obviously, going back to again the light heavyweight domestic scene, them two do that. Craig Richards and Buatsi on a Matchroom bill. And then obviously, what's the Frank Warren situation? And so is Lyndon Arthur?
Yeah, the rematch supposed to be happening.
That's it. Okay.
I don't know if it's set, but it's supposed to be happening.
So then the winner is got to go in against
each other.
No,
Callum Johnson.
To me, I'll be honest, Callum Johnson's your guy. You told me about him. You saying that basically he's up there. I didn't really know much about him. I see his last fight. He got wobbled in that fight.
Yeah.
You can see he's a banger. You can see he's a problem. He likes to come in, but I don't know. I don't know his pedigree. I haven't watched him.
He's fought at a higher level than all the other guys. Yeah. Because obviously he lost to Beterbiev. Obviously a lot of them have lost to world champions. But even the wins he has are a bit higher caliber than the others. He's been around that world level.
So if Frank Warren's gonna fight, but still, like I say, they're all English, all domestic fighters. They've all been up there. They're all trying to get back in, or either get back into it or get onto that world stage for the first time. So if Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yard are set, boom, get that out of the way. Winner jumps in with
Callum Johnson
while Richards and Buatsi's fighting. And then winner fight each other out of all them, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come out of that. And worst way, if that was to happen, obviously this is pipe dreams, you know what I mean? We know this ain't gonna happen. But if it did happen, I believe every fighter's stock would go up.
Yeah,
I would
100%.
still rather see them fighters that lost in another testing fight because you know what they're capable of, rather than them getting pumped up to that level by hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By good promotion and good hype. I'll rather watch even the loser.
Because as I say, even if say Yard loses to Arthur and Richards loses to Buatsi,
Yeah.
Richards versus Yard, I'll watch that fight the next day.
All day long. It makes sense. And again, both fighters, the losers will still be better fighters than they was before they took the fight in the
100%.
first place. But either way, exciting for the light heavyweights domestically. Hopefully we get to see.
We have in the UK the best light heavyweight
Scene, yeah.
Russia.
Who?
Kovalev's
done. Kovalev's done.
Kovalev, you think Yard could beat him in a rematch?
I would like to think so, yeah. I would like to think so.
Stop him for sure.
I would like
Maybe.
to think, Anthony Yard, that's a great fight though on paper. Why not make that? That's a great fight because Yard will want to redeem himself.
To be fair,
If he couldn't beat him, then obviously the fact that what he done in the first fight and almost stopping him, surely he's come on as a fighter since Anthony Yard. We've heard we heard a few rumors about his new trainers and new training camp alongside Tundi. I think if he's added to what he had in the first place, then I think he should be able to beat him. Yeah.
you think he's learned how to get away from a jab?
I would like to think so. I would hope so. I would hope so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Out of those four, who do you think long term might be the strongest?
4, 5 out of 5.
Out of
5.
five, yeah.
What? Buatsi.
Arthur.
Long term, who comes out on top? You're
Yeah.
saying.
Who's coming out on top long term?
You just said at the beginning that Buatsi struggles with boxers movement. Yeah, and Lyndon is that guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So cool. You're saying that
I
Lyndon
think
causes him problems.
with Buatsi, it's the footwork.
I've only
control
seen
of
Lyndon
distance.
Arthur's one fight, and in
Yeah.
that one fight he used one hand, innit? You know what I mean? He used one hand.
He
so
had one hand,
it's
innit?
very
But
hard
And
to.
he still won.
He still won, so it shows levels.
At
But
good levels.
but I also said my opinion. My gut instinct said to me was, even listening to him in interviews and that, he seems like a very calm-natured, laid-back person. So even if he had both hands, I can't imagine him being a sort of person sitting down and trying to land in right hand. So I don't think his style would change much. in
Maybe
terms
not
of-
land it like spitefully, but he's a 1-2 fighter.
Yeah.
And when you was talking, you were speaking Yard, I was speaking Arthur, and I was saying like I thought he had two hands, and I thought when he won with one hand, let alone with two.
So the 1-2 obviously is going to add more problems. But I do think, well, I can't say nothing because of the one fight I've seen it. But yeah, he looks like that's his style. That's what he does. He does it well. Does it very well. But obviously, Buatsi, I think he's the most talented out of a lot of them.
Yeah,
And I
100%.
think he would. I would like to think he would find a way to overcome them problems. So obviously, again, Virgil Hunter in the corner. They're gonna have 6 sparring, 6 training camp. It is. It's a major issue though to come up against, compared to fighting people that stood in front of you the whole time and then coming up against an out and out boxer. It's a different ball game.
Yeah,
innit? As Anthony Yard realised in that fight with Lyndon Arthur, it's a whole different problem you got to face.
Is Buatsi the hardest hitter?
I don't know. We have him and Yard. Or actually,
Johnson.
maybe Callum Johnson. Yeah.
I think Yard potentially could be up there with his natural
Johnson's
physique.
the only guy to drop Beterbiev.
Is he? Fair enough.
I think that guy dropped him before, but it's flash, like
Yeah.
almost a slip.
But talking while we're on the subject, anything else on that?
I was gonna say I agree with you, Buatsi, in the sense that he has the most upside, where he's got the most potential. Where if he's with Virgil Hunter and they put the things together, where his footwork improves, his control of distance improves, and those small things, just keeping hands up at the right times, and then he will definitely be the best one.
I've seen him in sparring. I've seen certain bits. Obviously, I know it's completely, you can't compare sparring to fights, but like talent wise, ability wise, it was the stuff he does. I've seen him play with people, switch hitting, moving, boxing. He's a class operator in the ring. But yeah. But I was gonna say, on the discussion of boxers, we're talking about Lyndon Arthur, back-footed boxers, them sort of style fighters. Obviously, we got to see Lerrone Richards.
Yeah, Lerrone Richards, he looks like a bad boy.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
He's a problem. He's a serious problem. What's your take on that fight, and what's your take on Lerrone Richards?
Obviously, it's coming for the vacant European title. His one is on it properly. He's on the British, he's on the Commonwealth, and now he's a European champion. He won every second of every round. So it made it all look easy. And the worst part is I'm watching him getting pissed off myself, thinking, bro, if I was to fight this guy, would have problems.
It's a frustrating night, isn't it? It's a frustrating night.
It's beautiful to watch because he's so smooth with it.
Yeah.
Every slip, every roll, everything. It's like he doesn't do anything with wasted movement. Every movement he does links to the next movement, which links to his punches and everything. It's beautiful.
It's efficient. The slips are natural. It's not like he's wasting energy while he's doing it. He just looks so. He just looks calm in the way he goes about it. for me, obviously, I know Lerrone well. I know him personally, and he's a good guy, very good boxer, very disciplined, takes the game serious. But for me, I can see where he's gonna have problems in terms of winning the casuals over.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because that style of boxing, I think that style of boxing is very appreciated when you're fighting. If he's fighting a serious come forward fight that's knocking everyone out, and everyone thinking, nah, this guy has Lerrone gonna live with this. People are gonna tune in. You're gonna be excited because you're gonna be thinking, nah, you're gonna see how he's gonna look to get on top of him. But that style of boxing, I think, up at that weight, super middleweight, when you're that big, you're that strong, and you can touch a man at will, I think people do like to see you standing there, because he landed any shot he wanted to land. And once you got in a rhythm like that, I think people want to see you start planting your feet and digging them shots in, and basically being a bit more spiteful. And obviously in his boxing, as a person, from what you know, what I mean, Lerrone, he's like he ain't got a bad bone in his body, and it's like it shows in his boxing, you know.
Well, it was a 12-round fight, isn't it?
12-round fight.
In the third round, the commentators the whole time, they were explaining why it's going to be a boring fight.
Yeah.
They're pretty much just saying, like, yo, like, obviously he does his steps on the rolls.
Bracing you,
but
for,
easy, yeah, it's like,
for what's about to come. Because you
with other fighters, at least sell them, innit? Just say, oh, you're going to see a lot of skills, you're going to see this, you're going to see slickness. Let's see if you can see a knockout. They're like, nah, we're probably not going to see it. You know what I mean? And at least try to sell it and gas it. And that's if I'm watching and I'm a casual and I don't really care for that, and you're telling me, wait, I'm going to have to sit through 12 rounds of him doing this.
You lose interest early. And again, it needs to be in them tough fights with the tough opponents. Eubank comes to mind. You know what I mean? Someone that people think, raw, when he gets on the inside, he's actually a serious problem. But then obviously you're going to find the boxing ability. For me, Lerrone schools Eubank.
Oh, that's an easy fight.
You know what I mean? We said
make it happen. I'm going to put a lot of money on Lerrone still.
He schools him. He touches
make it happen.
And against that sort of opposition, what I'm saying might work against him in terms of selling the fight, is obviously will play into his hands in terms of you ain't going to get near him. You ain't going to be able to land a shot on him. It's going to be easy, nice work. But I think he's going to need them big opponents, big name opponents out there for his name to come. And obviously, he's doing what he's doing in the sport is hit and don't be hit. Don't take no risks. He's doing that with ease. But obviously, to go to that next level, to become like a pay-per-view superstar name.
But it's about who you fight. Like you said, once you fight them come forward guys, that's up to Eddie Hearn, Sky Sports. Get him in those fights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Who else? Eubank, who else we got? Super Middle.
Super Middle. I don't really know too many domestic.
At the moment, European domestic wise.
John Ryder, that's decent. Billy Joe Saunders, I guess. That fight will never happen. But, we're saying Billy Joe by stoppage, yeah?
Yeah, the whole tone has changed, isn't it? The whole tone has changed.
I'm saying Billy Joe in the rematch.
Rematch of who?
With Canelo, bro.
What? Stop
3
it.
years down the line, it's the best thing for Canelo. There's no one else out there.
Who's Billy Joe?
Yeah, bro. He's gonna 2-piece Caleb.
You still on them same strands? You on that same strand?
Man, he won the 3 rounds. He won 3 rounds in that fight. He learned something.
Right, let's not get don't. Yeah.
You're not entertaining it.
I'm not. Alright, cool. So what else on that bill? But yeah, Lerrone, shout out Lerrone, done his thing.
Callum Smith as well.
What?
Super middleweight.
Callum Smith. Yeah.
He's gone up to light heavy.
Yeah, to be fair, he was a massive one,
Yeah,
though, wasn't it?
yeah. That's a good
makes
fight,
sense.
though. I like the sound of that.
But
Obviously,
yeah, there's people out there. John Ryder, that'd actually be a good fight because John Ryder's a come forward kind of guy.
Yeah, I think that'd be light work. I would say for
Lerrone, yeah, 100%.
light work.
John Ryder arguably beat Callum Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah.
I didn't even know they fought.
I
I didn't
Tight
even know
fight,
they fought.
Ryder fought Billy Joe as well, innit? I think.
Close fight as well.
Yeah.
But what else on that card? That's the only fights I watched on that card.
Yeah, I literally didn't watch it until I found out Richards was next.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know your thoughts. Who's the best light heavy in the country? Make sure you comment below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, this weekend coming up, we have Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez.
Why the fuck? Come on. What are you saying?
You thought the thing was done, innit?
No. I was there. I'm ready. My guy, Josh Taylor in that. Yeah?
Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez for the undisputed
massive fight, big fight.
140 pound title.
Big fight. Mad that I haven't even seen
if you go on
much hype about it.
Yeah, nah, not at all. I think because it's top rank don't really do anything until fight week.
Okay.
So fight week's coming, so they should have more coming up. I'm not even sure he's showing it in the UK, to be honest.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, I think.
Is it?
Must be.
I don't know.
I remember people got mad because of Sky Sports and that. They're talking about they're getting a Floyd Mayweather fight, isn't it?
Might be
Yeah.
on Fight TV then. That Fight TV thing.
Yeah,
If
maybe.
you can't find something, it's always on that.
Because who promotes Josh Taylor? No one in the UK.
Bob Barron, top rank.
in the UK though.
Nobody.
Nah, I don't think he's with Barry
Then it'll
McGuigan
probably
anymore.
Yeah, so probably be pay-per-view Fight TV pay-per-view in the UK maybe. I'm not really sure. We'll look that out for you guys, but yeah. So
Big fight, massive fight. I don't really know much about
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez. I
He
watched a
ducked-
bit of him.
He ducked Prograis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think have to happen as well, so he couldn't even blame anyone. But yeah, he ducked Prograis.
Josh Taylor don't duck nobody.
Nah.
But I like, you know, I watched him. What fight? I watched one of his fights recently. I watched it on YouTube. Caught up with it. But I like his style. He's in there. His game. I don't think, from what I see, there wasn't nothing he done overly exciting. But he just looked very strong, tough, come forward.
I think he's with Robert Garcia, isn't it? So the game plan and stuff is smart. But same way, he ducked the whole World Boxing Super Series tournament.
Yeah.
Because he could have been a part of it. He chose not to be.
But sometimes that's more financial, like business.
The World Boxing Super Series, they were spending way too much money. That's why they're basically done.
You're just saying straight.
I didn't say nothing, but that's
smoke.
I didn't say anything. But yeah, and then so
would you say 50-50 fight on paper?
On paper, Josh Taylor's in everyone's top 5, 10 pound for pound.
Okay.
And they both have 2 belts at the same weight class. But everyone puts Josh Taylor, no one really puts Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. Again, I've never even really...
Yeah.
I've only heard of him because of the Josh Taylor fight.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know he was...
Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. I just don't think he's elite.
Yeah.
I think Josh Taylor's elite.
Yeah.
But then again, if you look at our comments when we talked about this fight last time, apparently we're going to be very wrong.
Why?
Yeah, we're just getting grilled.
Yeah, from what did we say?
I think, you know, Mexican fans, they love their people, they support, innit?
Yeah,
They've been supporting them in our comment section.
Yeah, we get abused. Bro,
We get abused
you
every
back
day.
the British. You back the British in this podcast. It's curtains, bro.
Yeah.
But fuck it, innit? Come on. You know what I'm saying? I think, brother, you know what I said? I don't know what I said on the last one, but I stand by it. I think Josh Taylor by far the best light welterweight. After that Prograis fight.
Yeah.
You know,
Best in the world.
Yeah, best light welterweight in the world, hands down. And hopefully it's a good test. Hopefully it must be a good. Obviously the guy's two double world champion, so he's got to bring something to the table. But yeah.
Yeah, and regardless, winners undisputed, so we'll see who really is the best, innit?
And that's all the belts
all the belts
in that division.
Yeah. And that's the best thing about it, though. The best fight and the best, innit?
Yeah. Where
see
does the
cleans
winner
up.
go?
Where does the winner go? It goes to 147, I guess.
Straight up.
Maybe not straight up. Defend your belt one time, maybe twice.
What about Tiafimo? What if Tiafimo
Wants to
beats
move up
my
for
man
undisputed?
and then wants to go and take on? So if Tio got all the belts in lightweight,
Yeah, well, Devin Haney is technically WBC champion.
That's not even that. They just cropped that from the whole video. We don't even talk about regular champions, innit?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, come on, but why not? When you got serious Donnies in the weight division, and then you're getting man just basically handing them the little side belts to say, yeah, you got a champion, you got a thing.
How
innit?
can they even carry that? Like, how can you carry
What are you
that
saying with
around
pride?
and
Your
say,
pride shouldn't allow you, innit?
pride, what?
What? So if you got an email saying you're world champion, you're not taking it?
What you saying? Delete the email, innit? Delete the email, innit? Change your email address and say, yo.
Nah, but my question to you is, like, as a boxer, right? As someone who supposedly follows the sport and whatnot, right? Would you be happy with yourself saying that you're a world champ when you actually haven't won the world champ title?
If I'm the mandatory and I've worked my way up and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Okay, that's a Dillian White situation.
He's got every right to be happy, but I don't think you should parade around as a world champion until you've gone out there and at least defended it, innit? If they've given you the belt, has he fought anyone since he's had the belt?
Not anyone of any note.
Yeah. Wait, who are we talking about? Haney?
Yeah.
The WBC.
Yeah, I think he fought Gamboa.
So once you get the belt, until you go out and defend it, but he hasn't defended
the
it.
thing for me
What
what
belt is it? WBC? Regular belt.
He's just a WBC world champion. Technically, Teofimo is the franchise champion.
And what's that mean?
It's a very good question, but that's the best question you ever asked me. I still don't know.
Because we've got champions in.
It's just it's to honor really great fighters. And
So are you saying Tio's belt ain't an actual belt?
Technically,
Well, it is because he won it.
Lomo was the
Off
champion.
Loma, who was
Yeah.
the
Instead
champion
of
who
making
won
him
it.
defend against Haney, they gave him the franchise belt.
And Canelo had
I'm
the
lost.
franchise
I'm
belt
lost.
At middleweight.
So obviously we
Charlo
got
was
champs
the
in
WBC.
recess. We got franchise champion. We got. Anyways,
Too much.
So at the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed lightweight champion.
Yeah. So without getting back to the topic, if Tio beats my man, maintains all the belts, does he have the right to move up to light welterweight and say, I want to fight the champion with all the belts?
100%.
He has the right.
100%.
And it's a sick fight.
Yeah.
It's a sick fight.
Him
Obviously.
against Jose Ramirez, yeah?
You dickhead. All right. I love the energy. It's coming back. The strand's wearing off. Right.
But yeah, I think
he has the right.
Yeah, 100% worth it.
And yeah, at the end of the day, if my man's walking to the ring with 4 belts as a challenger,
yeah,
and the champion's coming out with 4 belts, it's exciting, isn't it?
Just look at the press conference. Just one picture of 8 belts standing there
between 2 weight divisions.
10 if you count the ring. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Who are we saying? So first, we're saying Josh Taylor obviously beats Ramirez. Then we're saying T.O.
The T.O. would
versus Josh Taylor. It's very hard for me to say because you ain't seen how he's gonna fill out. Because T.O. looks solid,
massive at
lightweight, but he's not tall.
No.
So he looks filled out like that. So it's different when you got a tall, slim fighter moving up, like Callum Smith was saying, because you can see very easily how they're physically gonna just turn into that weight, fill into that weight. But T.O. is like you're gonna think you wouldn't want to see him looking any fucking whammer. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want him to put on muscle. He ain't gonna grow a couple inches, is he?
I reckon it'll go on his legs though.
Yeah, and obviously he'll probably just feel more comfortable at making the weight. Yeah. Rather than having to obviously certain fighters when you see them stripped. Richard Comey, have a look at that Donny on the scales when he weighs in because of the work he puts in to make lightweight. Yeah, I mean he looks unwell on the scales, but then obviously when he gets into the ring, he's looking solid. So maybe it might just be a thing for Tio where you'll feel more comfortable. But yeah, that fight, what are we saying? If Josh Taylor fights T.O. for all the belts,
I can't see someone smaller than him beating Josh Taylor. It's tough.
I think Josh Taylor's downfall could be like his heart. He's a very aggressive fighter. He loves to fight, even though he's a very class boxer. He loves to fucking scrap. And I think T.O. ain't like T.O. is very smart and you can see he's a brawler.
If T.O. punches with you, 9 times out of 10 you're losing that exchange, innit? So it'll be interesting.
Great fight again. Yeah. Hopefully it happens. But yeah, obviously shout out Ramirez first of all and Taylor going into that fight. We'll see what happens on that one. And man, I just dismissed what's his name? T.O.'s opponent.
Cambosos Jr. That's a good fight though, to be fair. Yeah.
I just dismissed him. I haven't really watched him, but obviously he's up there in that fight. So
I don't think his levels though. Personally, I just don't think his levels. And your boy Devin Haney is fighting the next week as well.
Devin Haney.
Yeah, Jorge Linares.
Not my boy. We've seen him link up. We've seen him link up with. There's talk. I don't know what's happened. Ben Davison put up a couple pictures working with him in America. I see something.
See them sparring.
Who? Haney.
Yeah, Haney was sparring someone. Ben Davison was taking it.
Yeah. I think that's a smart move for me. Ben Davison, one of, if not the best trainer out there at the moment, technically. You know what I mean? We've worked alongside him, seen what he does. His brain's different. The details are mad. He breaks down. And the fact that Haney for me, he's a boxer. He's you know what I mean? He's a very slick class boxer. I think that's where Ben Davison excels with them sort of fighters. And I think that's a great link up, whether it's full time or whether it's him just helping out in camp or whatever. I think he definitely adds a lot to that.
All right. With Canelo being obviously one of the best super middleweight right now, I think he's gonna become the first undisputed world champion at super middleweight. If he beats Caleb Plant, if that fight actually happens.
When he beats Caleb Plant. We're not upset the producers.
Yeah, you're gonna upset him.
Canelo is gonna spark him. It's peak.
Check out the interview. It's on the channel.
Quick plug, shame.
I thought that was gonna say Billy Joe again.
Caleb's a good boxer, but Canelo.
He's a great boxer.
Yeah, he's a very good boxer. He's a very good boxer, and obviously he's solid super middleweight.
Yeah, for me, it's experience.
But on the point, don't get sidetracked. Where was you going?
One of the producers put up a graphic.
Sick graphic, by the way.
Canelo, Roy Jones, Andre Ward, James Toney, Bernard Hopkins,
Joe
Calzaghe. Who comes out on top in the Super 6 tournament?
Who makes it to the final?
Billy Joe.
That was one of the hardest ones. I find it eeasier to pick the outright winner than I did to pick the 2 finalists. The man say Billy Joe again. Take the mic away from him now. Right, so cool. Top 6. Was that 6 fighters you named? Who makes the final 2?
You know what? Defensive fights too, innit?
No, don't do all that. Don't do all that. Don't agree with him. They all fight each other, innit, in a car park. Fuck it.
Right.
I think Canelo then.
I'll say.
No. If it's that, James Toney will win.
Yeah,
You're just
100%.
gonna
Obviously, it's not. It's not obvious.
Yeah. They're gonna try and hit him. He's gonna be like, nah.
So that's his element. That's his home, innit? He's more home there. Alright, so cool. But yeah, alright. All had to fight
My
each
way
other.
of thinking, Roy, he takes out Hopkins and Tony because he did take them out. Andre Ward takes out Kawasaki. And then he takes out Canelo. So we've got Ward versus Roy Jones in the final.
Ward versus Roy Jones. That's what I was going to, but I'll admit I wouldn't. If someone said put James Toney up there in front of Ward, I wouldn't argue it too much.
I heard that.
I haven't watched. I feel like I've watched a lot more of them, their younger fights and upcoming fights than I have of James Toney's. I haven't really. I wouldn't break him down like that. But obviously for me, Roy Jones, Roy Jones, Ward will be the final two, and then obviously Roy Jones. For me, Roy Jones. But I see people in the comments talking about resume, but you're talking about his resume.
And he's beat two of the two people that are on the list.
In there, and he made the fighters look average, man. For me, the guy is stupendous, but his ability is unmatched. He's a freak, innit? He's a freak, bruv. You get in the ring with that ability, you ain't getting near him. It might not be exciting if you don't want. If you're the sort of you want to see action and toe to toe stuff, but if he wants, he can just go on the back foot and he can just pepper man from distance, innit? You ain't getting near him.
Isn't it a bit unfair for someone like Canelo in that, because like Roy Jones, that's kind of where he started, right? And then
Yeah.
not.
But we're talking about in their peak at that weight,
Yeah.
at their best at 168.
And
Canelo's is right now.
But I don't even think it is right now. I think watch him in the next couple of years. I think he's gonna get even better.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't have the competition to really.
But I think so I think we can clearly say that he's more or less in the peak of his powers right now at 168. The fact that he outboxed Billy Joe Saunders
you got to remember,
in the early rounds.
Roy Jones in the Olympics, he was a light middleweight as well. He started his career at middleweight.
And
So only one, went
Ended
all
at
the way to
heavyweight.
heavyweight.
He was like if he did it in the Olympics was still like a kid basically, right?
He turned pro as a kid as well.
Yeah, so like he's gonna fill out a lot more, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. We're talking about them at their best at 168.
Fair.
Roy Jones is peak of his.
It's not fair on Hopkins really because he never fought at 168 technically, but
But for me, Hopkins was. It's hard to put him in that category because I don't think he was elite in that. He's a very
dominating guys when he was 45.
Yeah. I think he's a smart man, very smart. Studied the sport of boxing. You know, he was just. Yeah, I mean, he's a credit to the sport of boxing because he weren't naturally as gifted as the other guys.
So he was work rate more than talent.
Yeah. He worked to get where.
The most likely guy in that tournament to get stopped. This is going to be a crackhead Dan comment. Is Roy Jones
To get
stopped because all those guys except for him, I don't think any of them have been stopped.
So you're saying Roy Jones, but we're talking about a 168, bro.
Yeah,
Roy Jones don't get touched at 168, let alone stopped.
Yeah.
When he come down, obviously, when he went up to heavyweight and then he rushed back down, obviously he took the steroids to get to the heavyweight. There's no two ways about it. He rushed back down in weight to come back to light heavy to fight Antonio Otava, innit? That's when he got knocked out. And obviously a lot of people say because of this the rush, the weight loss, he done it too drastic. It wasn't good for the body.
He didn't have a chin. No one ever questioned his chin before he come down in weight.
Yeah, but then they got caught by Tava and then obviously Glenn Johnson and then fucking Enzo Macronelli and everyone in the world.
Everyone in the auntie just straight in.
But yeah, man, put the comments, get that one, put that post back up again. I'm intrigued by the comments on that one because again, I won't argue with a lot of people. I think that's a fucking sick debate, that one.
Any other topics?
Talking about, right, fuck it, I got a message. Shout out.
You got some fan mail?
We got some, I can't even call this one fan, man. I don't know if he likes me, to be honest. I had a couple, where they gone, who we got? Okay, right. Shout out the man, Jamie Murphy, boxing boss, bums on seats, yeah. One of the hardest working men in the business side of the fucking sport, bruv. The guy is relentless. He says, what do you think about the Sky deal now Matchroom's leaving and who realistically has the stable for Prime TV or who could basically fill that slot on the Sky Sports? Take
What?
Eddie Hearn's role. So now Eddie Hearn's leaving Sky Sports.
Okay.
Who can fit? Who can come in?
The Purist, 100%.
The Purist
Yeah.
boxing. Hey.
What we got? We just signed Ollie McBurney. Mikey post-church on pay-per-view.
Personally, I think Sky They shouldn't. Do they need someone to sign an exclusive deal with? I think they
That's
should be
what
an
I said.
open.
Yeah, should open market like it was before.
Open market.
But there is no open market.
Yeah.
Who is there?
There's no one out there, innit? I have heard a rumor. I've heard a rumor inside boxing. Obviously, I'm very well connected inside the sport of boxing, in the business side of boxing. I've heard a rumor, man. I can't say nothing yet. They said don't say nothing, but basically, I've heard there's someone coming in just in negotiation with Sky Sports about an exclusive deal. I don't think that's the way forward, doing an exclusive deal. But for Sky Sports to take it, someone's obviously going to have to step up and start pumping that money into it. So then they could obviously become, at the moment, there's not, I wouldn't say there's a stable out there that deserves an exclusive deal with Sky Sports. But if you get the backing of Sky Sports.
Yeah, that's because Matchroom didn't have the stable back then.
Yeah,
but then Sky Sports helped them get up there.
Dog shit when they started. Yeah. They come in and Mick Hennessy's fighters, innit? That's where he started off with.
As well.
Darren Barker and Kel Brook and a couple Donnies.
Yeah. Carl Frosch and all them came on later.
Bro, shout out Eddie Hearn, man. He gets abuse on his show, but he's done bits.
Yeah.
He's done bits.
That's what I'm saying. Back then, that's when he was the man. Now, nah.
But he's the man in it for himself.
Yeah, I hate
himself.
Yeah,
he's the man in terms of the business he's created himself.
He's taken the top fighters. I think the reason why he's probably not spending time with people like Richards is because he's going and trying to look for just the world best.
And who's that? Lewis Ritz and Ted Cheeseman. Come on, bro. he's been putting
Canelo. That's the guy. Canelo and AJ is his two thoughts right now. If he can continue,
he said he was plugging them out on that building.
Yeah.
100. I think if you look at his interviews or whatever, he's only talking about them two men. He's not talking about no one else.
But you got to look at Golden Boy, because when they had Canelo, they didn't make the most of it on the guys underneath 100%. Them. And once that one goes, everything else will crumble.
Yeah, but Canelo was saying that's because Oscar spent half the time drinking.
Oh, but
that's what he said on it.
Yeah, I hate. But everyone knows Oscar's never been the man at Golden Boy. Oscar has never done anything.
Yeah, fuck all.
Oscar's never done anything. He just turns up in the fights. Why do you think there's like 7 different promoters there? They got Bernard Hopkins is up there. Eric Gomez is up there. They've got so many people are like at the top because De La Hoya don't actually do anything.
Why?
Snort coke.
Yeah, that's it.
While we're on the topic Sky Sports, and I got another shout from my boy Steve Hart. Yeah. Obviously, you know how we bang on about Sky Sports, how they promote it, how they, you know what I mean? Basically, they chat shit. They sell. It's like WWE, innit? They hype up their fighters to the max, and it's not really. I think it's not. They don't give you the real side of things. They give you what benefits their things. But I'm gonna play the message.
Check in their pocket.
Let me play the message from Steve. If you man can hear this one. He's banging on about UFC, by the way. Let me start that again. Obviously, I did, fuck the UFC, but...
And the other thing is, if someone's good in the UFC act like they're good, there's none of this really, like, pumping people that aren't very good. And I'm sitting there like, I don't ever need to see Ted Cheeseman be talked about like he's the best boxer in the world and brought out 5 times a year with all this, like, promotion. And I'm like, who the fuck is Ted Cheeseman? Like, you're just some very average guy fighting some other very average guys in kind of scrappy but pretty average fights. It's just like, surely people see through it. I'd prefer it if I could have the fight sound on and turn the commentary off, because the commentary is just as bad as everything else. Like, at least in the UFC, they're not biased. In boxing, I'm hearing them talk about Eddie Hearn's fighters every 2 seconds. I'm like, you're not even winning this fight, mate. What am I watching?
That's facts. That's everything is facts.
And obviously, Steve, my boy Steve, listen, I've trained with him. He's trained at a good level of boxing. He had a white collar, done well in a little white collar scrap. But obviously, to people in boxing, it will just be called a casual fan. But that's the people, that's the opinions you gotta take in on the sport, innit? And obviously, I make him. I bang on about it all the time. I say these men, they feed you bullshit. Like even the Johnny Nelson situation with that fucking. Who's a James
Tennyson, yeah.
That he was saying. Now I don't know that, brother. He might be.
Hold on, one more time.
Johnny Nelson went on record saying, I posted it. The undefeated guys, shout out to them. Made a funny meme about it. He said, I think James Tennyson, he looks really strong at lightweight.
He beats Tank.
I see him beating Tank.
He beats
and
Tank.
And he got flattened in his last fight.
This is some... Listen, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be fucking brutally honest. No, but real talk, listen. Because I say that because of... Johnny Nelson is there because of he's a boxing man, not because of the shit he has to talk to sell the this and that. But he is doing that for whatever reason he feels the need. Listen, I might be wrong. Maybe that brother, what's his name, Tennessee. He's shown in fights that maybe then
He
if
ain't
he
shown
hasn't,
nothing.
say if he hasn't, then to come out with them outrageous statements, you're just fucking feeding the public your bullshit. You're all basically up each other's ass, hyping the whole Matchroom thing to just, you're selling it just to, you know what I mean? You're lining each other's pockets, but it's not good for the sport of boxing. Now we're here for the sport of boxing. This is the purist for a reason, innit? We're here for purely for this benefit of the sport of boxing. Now we worked in ourselves at the low small hall shows with serious fighters. Now there's young brothers, young Donnies that are fucking hungry. Now they might not be selling big tickets or getting on the big bills, but they will fight anyone today and tomorrow. But they're not getting the opportunities in my eyes because of the bullshit that these whole Matchroom stable and the Matchroom front are giving us constantly. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people like Johnny Nelson, it's sad to see that hype, the bullshit, because give the boxers, be honest with the people. Be honest, tell it how it is. Don't say what you have to say to sell your fighters, innit? Because you're just feeding bullshit, really, innit?
James Tennyson, yeah, he got stopped in 5 rounds by Tevin Farmer. He can't
punch for shit.
Yeah, I thought when I heard the fight was happening, yeah, I'd watched someone knock out James Tennyson, and I thought it was a guy who knocked him out that was fighting Farmer.
Yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be a decent fight. Then I watched and thought, what is this? So to say that guy can beat Tank, that's just payroll talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
And it's bad for the sport of boxing. So hopefully whoever gets this Sky Sports deal takes lessons from what we've seen and what we've put out with. Don't get me wrong, again, like I said, compared to WWE, because I watched the 2 fights yesterday, the excitement, the whole music entrance, the whole build up, it's a dramatic, they make it very dramatic, it's exciting, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm the minority in this case, but I just want to see serious fights, 50-50 fights, and fighters that are being tested coming through, and young hungry fighters deserve the chance to be there. I know some Donnies out there, yeah, given that opportunity, that there's fighters that if they can't sell enough tickets or they don't get as much following, they're not even getting the fights. Now they're getting disheartened from it. You got brothers coming from ends that can't really sell tickets, but for that reason, because they're not earning big money, they'll fight everybody and fuck people up. But you'll rather promote the person that is easily promoted, is very promotable, who can sell the most tickets. You're not doing the sport of boxing good. So whoever comes in on Sky Sports, hopefully, like I said, they take note. And they start giving the fans they start giving the fans proper fucking fights, basically, innit?
It's like you were saying, when you get that Sky Sports push, you can make people into stars, innit? So instead of getting these ready-made people who aren't that good that can sell,
sell tickets.
You get the diamond in the rough and you turn him into a star, innit?
And obviously the Ted Cheeseman, I apologise, Ted Cheeseman, I didn't know that was a straight assault on your name from my boy Steve Harden. I didn't know that was coming, but I'm making right in the sense of the point. He's making the Ted Cheesemans of the world. He's a very good fighter in terms of he gets in there, he gives 110%, and he does his thing. Cool, fair enough. But at the same time, he's a good domestic level fighter. He's I don't know. Say
it's hard to get to that. Even becoming a British champion is very, very tough, isn't it? So let's not undermine his achievements. But at the end of the day, we're talking about world level fighters, isn't it? There's no way Ted Cheeseman should be getting pushed more than Joshua Buatsi.
Says it all, innit? It says it all. When you say it like that, the name Ted Cheeseman, you know, he's gonna go a lot further. If you ask a lot more people, they're gonna know Ted Cheeseman and Joshua Buatsi.
I think I've seen Ted Cheeseman more than I've seen Buatsi the last few years, anyway. So it's mad. Definitely. And the Lewis Ritsons of the world and them people there, innit? Because they're big ticket sellers, they get the platform. But it should be the other way around. Eddie Hearn should be making ticket sellers. It's like Dillian White before the Joshua fight. I didn't know he was.
Yeah. You can, and with that platform, you can make ticket sellers, and you're doing the sport of boxing an injustice by not doing so. You're cheating it, by basically just trying to make quick money, innit? Off of ready names, basically. They're already very sellable.
Dillian White as well now is one of the most entertaining fighters out there.
And I love the support that brother gets. I love the fact everybody says, because why does he get the support he gets? Because he jumps in with everybody. Because he takes any fight that has been offered to him and he calls 100%. Out and only wants to fight the top fighters. So surely they're the fighters the fighters that people want to see.
And he's technically not promoted by anybody.
Yeah,
he's his own.
Business wise, smart man as well.
Very smart.
He's never been a Matchroom fighter technically.
But
still on Sky Sports.
But obviously, it's not easy for everyone. He obviously was able to do that, being a heavyweight, getting the AJ fight, and obviously being in a strong position. It's not easy for guys, young, hungry, up and coming fighters to do that.
Tony Belly done the same thing back in the day as well.
What?
He was never a Matchroom fighter. Yeah. They used to do it.
Tony Belly's part of that Matchroom hype, though, man. He talks waffle, though, innit? He talks waffle. Like, the man just say what needs to be said. Like, some of the comments and statements I read, you just think, fucking no, bruv. Love it, especially from a boxing man. Like, listen, if he believes what he says, then fair enough. But some of the stuff I've read, I just think, nah, you're just sucking off the stable, really, innit? In a polite way of saying it.